This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Hello, my name is Harrington Watko. Welcome to our program. But before we continue, I would like to point out a disclaimer. While I enjoy the color yellow, I am not and actually despise the yellowtards, which I always say to be the traitors of the country today. Now, along that line, in reference to nationalism and to liberating the people, we have chosen to pick as a topic a current event which is which is obviously unfolding, which somehow has lost control. Now, whether it be the person, the personality, or the position, you be the one to judge. Our topic is Ombudsman the Ombudsman. Exactly what that means, while being repetitive, our guest will explain. We have with us from the Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption. You all know him. He's the founding chair, Mr. Dante Jimenez, who's here with us, who's going to help explain to you so that critical thought on your part, you will not be misled by what you call fake news, kuro-kuro, rumors, and whatever. Hear for yourself the conversations that will now unfold as we go along. Hi, Dante. Thank you for being in the show.
Yes, of course. Harry, I miss your show. I really wish that you'd be inviting me many times.
Busy ka, Dante.
Yeah, but you see, being the Larry King, local Larry King of Philippine commentaries, I really do respect you and hindi pwedeng hindi ako sumipot dito.
Nako, ayan, narinig niyo po. But, Dante, believe ako sa iyo, your advocacy takes precedence over survival. You have not accepted or asked for any position from the current government, although you have supported them and you've supported the president. And this way you remain at least independent and no one can accuse you of any interest or whatnot. Before anything else, let me promote your book.
Okay.
This is the latest book, ladies and gentlemen. It's called The Crusade. The Crusade Continues by Dante Jimenez, but it is penned by
Janet Gonzaga.
Janet Gonzaga. Now, if you're interested, please go to your local bookstores. You should find it, or you can reach out to me and I'll tell you where you can get a book. It's easy reading, but it's, I'm sure knowing Dante, there's going to be a lot between the lines that will be left for your critical thought. Dante, why Ombudsman? The Ombudsman. Is there something wrong with Carpio Morales? Before you answer that, let's give the news a break. For example, in the newspapers today, whether you call it fake news or not, here once again, the repetition, I don't know if you can call it a crime, or it's called habit, or it's called interest, or it's called sucking up to the wrong whatever. The Ombudsman once again clears Trillanes all the way up to the presidency on the back talks that was brought out which started long ago with Enrile. Meaning, yung nakailam po si Senator Trillanes doing backdoor negotiations with the Chinese involving our islands in the West Philippine Sea. For example, yung kinaiinisan natin lahat na Scarborough or Reed Island, whatever. Yan. Ano nangyari dyan? Nakialam po daw ang mga Amerikano, ang Chino, tsaka ang Pilipinas. Nagharap-harapan yung tatlo. At tapos, there was an agreement. We all pull out together. Siyempre, sunod-sunod si Yellow Army, pull out na una, yun ang abiso ni Trillanes. We pulled out the Chinese state. Today, they have built a fortress. So whose fault is it? The Americans? But they're not here. It's not their island. The Chinese, we've already faulted them. But who started this? As Senator Enrile points out, very, with the Brady files, just you Google it, it will tell you. Trillanes obviously sold out our country. Is this correct?
Yes, Harry, if you will recall, the present administration has been being sabihin natin kontrabida dito sa West Philippine Seas. But
can we call it kontrabida? Hindi kaya
Hindi,
damage control ang
Hindi,
ginawa ng
no.
Presidente dyan?
Kontrabida, in such a way, akala nila, sila ang nag-umpisa, si President Duterte.
Yun ang perception ng meron.
Ayun ang lumalabas ngayon sa ibang mga major dailies. Remember, it was during the time of Aquino when all this backdoor channeling was being done in China regarding the West Philippine Seas.
Which all, incidentally, failed. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
All failed.
All failed because you have there, as you said, the fortress.
Reality na ngayon.
Which now is being converted to a
Correct.
military garrison. So, at that time, I remember, Nick Faldon,
Yes.
that former rebel soldier who was with Trillanes before.
Oakwood.
Siya ay nag-organize ng isang trip to one island so that he will place the flag there.
He was not allowed.
He was not allowed, and she said, he told me 2 times President Aquino called him up, and I think binanggit niya yun during the campaign
correct.
in Luneta for Mayor Den Duterte for the presidency. So sabi niya, twice yun, tumawag si Aquino, and then telling him to stop, please, wag muna, because there is a
Ongoing,
coordination. So, in other words, my dear friends, hindi nag-umpisa po itong sigalot just sa West Philippine Seas during the time of the President, itong kay President Duterte, but it was started dyan panahon ni Aquino. That's why a group of people filed a complaint of treason against Aquino, Trillanes, because of this
Backdoor channels.
yes, backdoor channel at the same time, which brought our situation on a medyo sabihin natin sa
Disadvantageous na.
disadvantageous.
But, Dante, correct me if I'm wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, how long does it take to reclaim land? Does it take only 2 weeks? Does it take 30 days? Does it take a year to reclaim land? Ano ba naman? This has gone on since 2012 and before. Now, what caused that? As Enrile pointed out, yung tinira niya sa Senado si Trillanes. You're a traitor to this country. To begin with, DFA ka ba? One, is it sanctioned or is it another Mama Sapano agreement of Aquino going under, not going through Del Rosario then? Diba? To work all this backdoor channeling, which is incorrect. Diba?
And what is he doing? He's in the Senate. He belongs to a different chamber.
Correct.
Different branch of government.
Hindi executive,
So, hindi dapat executive. It should be the ambassador, in fact,
Correct.
for China, the Philippine ambassador in China. So, what business does he have?
Correct.
Imagine 16 times traveling to China.
Something's wrong.
That's why there's something wrong. And I think we have to dig deeper into
But
this.
I think, don't we have the same problem, a recurring problem with Carpio Morales, the Ombudsman? First, he says, Abad he's cleared of Abad and 3 months na sweldo niya kailangan bayaran niya. I mean, that's the only thing he's done. But you're talking of a DAP, ilang 150, 140 billion na nawala, which no less the Supreme Court has said illegal.
Unconstitutional.
And then you have the PDAF, which is the same thing, of which Abad, again, has his hands dirty. And he was also exonerated. And then again, with the Mama Sapano, with Aquino again. And here comes again this very same person, Carpio Morales. Ano ba problema nitong babae nito, Dante?
That is why we said it's not only once, but thrice.
Oo, 3 times.
Remember the very famous words of that actress, regarding kay Fernando Po Jr.
Naks.
Di ba? Hindi. Not once or twice, di ba?
3 times.
Oh, in times. So, in other words, it's really a problem that we have to address, especially these days. And the Ombudsman, I think, is now perceived to be really clinging towards Aquino to protect him from any charges before the Sandigan Bayan. So, in other words, lahat na tatlong yon filed by separate groups and people. Kami doon sa Mamasapano, kami nag-file.
Kayo nag-file sa Mamasapano.
Together with the victims of, the relatives of the Sub-44. But ito naman sa DAP and PDAP, mga aggregation niya ng mga organizations, mga led by the Bakabayan Group, plus VACC. So in other words, how can we get justice, Harry? How can we get justice from all these complaints if Ombudsman Morales will just dismiss it outrightly?
Which she has done again.
Again, and again, and again. 3 times.
3 times.
So,
actually, ika-4 na, it's not even 3 because you have Mama Sapano, you've got the PDAF, you've got the DAP. And actually, ngayon now you have the China intrusion or the back channeling of Trillanes. There is something 4 na yan, not even 3, 4. But why is she being, ang hindi ko maintindihan, Dante. Why is she tolerated when the general public perception is she's obviously there regardless to protect the yellow tards? I don't understand that.
yeah.
Tapos na yung era nila eh. They messed up the country. Everybody's in agreement. They've fouled up in their jobs. They've introduced in the gravest incompetence that any administrator has ever done. And yet, ang kapal niya, no? I mean, she can just decide to just keep on being there. Parang mentally ill? Hindi kaya?
Alam mo, Harry, hindi lang to
I'm being very harsh, okay?
Hindi lang to against Aquino. Okay? But we have several complaints against many government officials for that matter. VACC has been filing so many complaints dyan sa Ombudsman. And other groups din siguro, and other personalities. So, but nakatambak doon. Kung titingnan mo,
At tinutulugan niya.
if you will audit the Ombudsman, ang tanong dyan, who will Ombudsman the Ombudsman? Tama yung title mo eh. Di ba? I think, finally, it will be the people of the Philippines.
Very good. Very good
Under the
explanation.
Constitution,
Very good.
Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
Uh-uh.
Kaya that's why, lately, ang aming calling para ma-spare na tayo from this impeachment. Kasi it's really very gruesome eh. And I've talked with several
Yung taong bayan na.
lawmakers na talagang masisira yung kanilang timetable on other measures, mga
kailangan.
legislative measures that are very important, especially in the economic side and other social
Maraming gagawin pa.
Maraming gagawin.
Ano ang suggestion mo? Dapat kaya yung taong bayan lumabas? At pag people power na, paalisin natin, payugyugin natin yung Office of the Ombudsman?
Etong option ngayon. If Congress, okay, both Senate and House of Representatives will really be, sabihin natin, be indifferent on this. At maraming takot na marami dyan kinaisuhan dyan si Ombudsman Morales. At ang nabalita ko nga, dahil ayaw nilang lumabas, baka kasi ma-upgrade ang kanilang kaso.
Baka gumalo yung kaso nila.
Baka ma-upgrade. Sabihin mo, from lower charges
correct.
to die sa plunder. But you see, I think, no, and I firmly believe, okay, kung hindi po to papasok sa impeachment, let's go now for the People's Initiative.
Ayun.
Kasi hindi siya mag-resign. Ayaw niya. We called for her to resign. Matigas eh.
Matigas.
Dahil alam niya, mag-retire na 2018. So she will get a lot of benefits as a retired government
But is she
official.
that selfish to know, does she not realize? Ako, I don't understand the yellow tards, no, and Trillanes, where he gets the gal. Ibang klase eh. And even this guy, Alejano. I mean, okay. Maybe they really stand in their minds, in their hearts, na talagang that's what they believe. Pero when public opinion is so against you, hindi na sila nahihiya Di ba? Well, it's social media, it's just so obvious. Minumura na nga mga yan eh. I don't understand it. Well, of course, maybe the Inquirer or the Star or the oligarchs that want to maintain and sustain their interest. Siyempre, maybe this is where fake news becomes problematic. Yun ang sinasabi mo kanina sa mga dyaryo, tinitwist nila para si Duterte. Wala namang kaalam-alam si Duterte dito. But he has been praised by international lawmakers, by many international leaders, to have taken the initiative to try and talk to Xi Jinping, to try and talk to Trump as well, to confront the issues no one wants to talk about. Di ba? Issues that must not be named. Hinarap niyan, tama naman. Ngayon at least, miski pa paano nag-uusap, noon wala, gera na eh. Ganun ang nangyayari because, again, the Aquino administration has fumbled miserably the South China issue. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That is correct. But let us be clear. The Ombudsman's role is really to look into the probable cause lang.
That's it. And then
Diba?
pass it on.
Pass it on to the Sandigan Bayan
correct.
para doon na maglabanan.
Pero
Ang
doon niya
problema
iniipit.
ng Ombudsman, nagiging judge na siya.
Ayun.
Nag-gets mo yun? So, in other words, we have here a very problematic situation that we don't trust anymore the Ombudsman. VACC actually do not trust her anymore. Many complainants are already losing their faith. If people lose faith on a government official, what's the best option for you? You
Take him
either
out.
resign or take him out.
Yeah, correct.
But for the Ombudsman, according to the Constitution, it's only through impeachment. Or for her to resign, ito ang pinaka-third option, people's initiative. For her to, for the people to really ask for her head. At saka, use the Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
Pero yun na lang ang bala ng mga yellow tards eh. Kung yun na lang ang ano nila, hawak nila. Well, sa Supreme Court, meron pa si Leonin, meron pa mga dalawa-tatlo dyan na pinasok ni Aquino, di ba? But the Ombudsman masyadong, ano na, it's ridiculous. It's a little bit too much, di ba, if I'm not mistaken. Dante, we're gonna have to take a short break. Ladies and gentlemen, before anything else, I'll say this once again. The crusade continues together with Dante Jimenez, penned by
Janet Gonzaga.
Janet Gonzaga. You can get this in your local bookstore. You know, it is important. Today we celebrate the 156th year of our national hero, be it your hero or not. The point is, your nationalism has to take center stage over your current daily life of having to survive. That is the only way we can keep our heritage to stay Filipino. Now, being a Filipino is to do your part. And at this point, this is a subtle call for the people, if necessary. There is a need to Ombudsman, the Ombudsman. We'll be right back.